Stani again, and we're back with the Stani Army verdict. Today, we will be talking about the PSL 2021 draft. Um, it was yesterday, so we've waited a whole day. We've let it sink in, and we thought let's talk about it. Let's see how the draft went, how things went for each team, and what we look forward to in about a month's time, 6 weeks time. So I've got two guests with me today. First of all, Tanzir, Assalamu alaikum.
Well, so
Assalamu alaikum, Hasnat.
Walaikum assalam.
Acha. So here we are. We've got the PSL done. I'm Islamabad. Tanzil is Lahore. And Hasnat is Islamabad as well. Oh, you know what? We had an extra one more Lahore and one more Karachi fan, and they both disappeared at the moment. So this is what's going to happen to their teams as well, I think. Yeah. Basically, first coming to you, Tanzil.
yeah,
Let's talk about Lahore first of all. Let's discuss Lahore. The retention, first of all.
yeah,
What did you think of the retentions?
yeah. I think they were fine. I'd say that maybe Chris Lynn, not so much of a surprise. I know he's like in and out of form as well in the BBL. He's in and out, injured as well. So I'd say if they had gone for Lynn, I wouldn't have complained. But even though they missed him out, I think it was an okay decision. I think it was a risky move to have Lynn, but they kept the top players. Hafiz is obviously one of the top performers from last year. Shaheen Shafri, the obviously superstar. So I think their retentions were really good. I think you need people like Risa as well. Those kind of like utility cricketers. They can give you something with the bat. They can give you something with the ball. So we saw how important he was as well. Overall, I think retentions are. I think.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought I lost you guys there. Yeah, so that's Lahore. I mean, like, let's look at it. I mean, Hafiz experience.
Yes. Yeah.
No surprises.
And in red hot form. Let's not forget.
Shaheen,
Obviously.
a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Rashid Khan, I thought it was a bit surprising because
Yes.
he might not be available for the whole tournament.
Yeah.
But then again, if he's available for 8-9 games, that might make a lot of difference. I mean, he's that good
Yeah.
that he can win you games like that. Hasnat, before we go on, Fakr Zaman, did you understand this? Koi tuk banada?
I didn't get it. Okay, what was going on? He was leaving, and then that was like, what's happening there? Where is? I was actually looking forward that which team is going to get him. He is of course a plus point because he can give you good starts. And I don't know what was Lahore thinking, why they released him, what was going on. I don't know the backstory.
Yeah, well, you know what? We were all surprised. I thought we even tweeted his exit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I saw a tweet from one of the owners of Lahore, and he actually said that they just realized that there was a way for keeping him. So I think they just realized that you can actually make a player an ambassador. They didn't actually realize that for a franchise that's been for 6 years, that's shocking. But yeah, then it was David Weesay.
Yeah.
Aves says that Rashid Khan's available after the first game, 5 games. You know what? it's a no-brainer. Then if he's available after that, he can actually go on to win the tournament for Lahore as a bowler. Haris Rauf, again,
Yeah.
no surprises. Ben Dunk, he has been, you could say, Lahore's ace player for the last, at least the last season, if not the two. Dilbert again, absolutely nothing that you can argue. Samir Patel wasn't retained, but he was reselected. Tanzil, that's a no-brainer as well, isn't it? 'Cause he's quality.
I'd always have Samit. He's a brilliant team player. He's been around for ages and he knows the game well. He's into certain situations. He's a great batsman and he can get you, his 4 overs out, get a few wickets as well. So I think Samit Patel definitely no-brainer. I was surprised that they didn't retain him, but I'm pretty sure they were quite, confident that they'd have grabbed him after, which obviously they did. So very happy with that.
This one is surprising for me. I don't understand it. Sohail Akhtar. I don't understand how he's in the squad, let alone the captain. Hasnat, logic koi hai?
It's Lahore Kalandar, that's it. It's Lahore Kalandar.
He actually won the did he win the T10 with them in Dubai?
No. Actually, he won the tournament for Lahore Kalandars in Dubai, and that's why they believe that he's the lucky charm for their franchise. So that's why they kept him.
Wow. Tom Abel.
From heart.
Yeah.
Tom Abel, hands
Good
up.
pick.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah, good pick, Tom. He's been at Somerset and he's definitely a fantastic batsman, very young, upcoming player. So I think I was quite happy with that pick when I saw that, and he should get the games. He should get the games up top. So I'm really looking forward to him playing.
Then Zishan Ashraf. Now Zishan was supposed to be the next big thing. He was supposed to be like the one that everyone was looking at. Multan done the wild card on him last season, and then surprisingly they didn't retain him.
Yeah,
and they probably would have picked him on the next pick, but Lahore come and pitched him. So I think that's a very good signing. Agha Salman had a very good first class season, didn't he, Hasnat? And I think he got 100 the other day as well.
I like him. He's a proper batsman. He knows how to rotate strike, and he is one of those batsmen you can rely on in the middle. Okay, so he's a good pick. And even when he was playing for Lahore in the previous seasons, even then he was decent enough. I don't know why they let him go, but it's he has matured now. He has a good season, and I'm looking forward to him, like how they will play him.
Then I'm going to skip a couple, and I'm going to go to John Denley, which is like the supplementary pick. Again, a good player, especially if he's not going to be playing for England. He's available for the full season. So if he's not touring India, which he probably won't be, it's a very good pick because an experienced cricketer, a good cricketer. Then Tanzil comes 4 guys I'm going to talk about. Faizan, I think he got 6 runs last year, 7 games, and went at like 10.5 and over with his bowling. He had Maz, who was I think he was a leggy, wasn't he? But a very average bowler. Zed Alam, I think he's just had a season where hasn't scored much. I think got 7 ducks as well this season. And then there's Ahmed Daniel as well. It was going so well. And then, as Mohammad Aves actually points out, it's the whole Kalandars, guys. They're Kalandars for a reason. Something just like hit them and they just went back.
I mean, I think looking at the squad up there, I think there's enough of the other players to make the 11. However, they could have strengthened some areas with maybe better picks, like you say. But like Mohamed Awais says, it's Qalandas for a reason, and it wouldn't be quite straightforward, if it was them. So let's just see how they go about. But I think they've got a great team, and I think just like in the comments, Mohamed Awais has actually said the bowling looks well solid. I think they've got the three leading wicket takers of last year's in T20s. And I think it could be, if Rashid Khan plays, after the 5 games, he sticks about for the whole tournament, like you said. I think he could definitely be the trump card that could take Lahore Qalandars up a level. But they've definitely got to get their sort of batting to click as well, especially at the top.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we've got another guest as well, so I'll add Akil on. Assalamu alaikum, Akil.
How are you, Imran bhai? And everyone.
Right, we were just discussing that. Rashid Khan, right? Shaheen Shah, Haris Rauf, Dilbar, as a bowling attack. We're just talking about as a bowling attack. That is as good as any team in the tournament.
Yes, that is the bowling attack which can win you tournament.
Yeah, it can.
Like, this is the kind of attack you need to win. Basically, batting can win you a couple of matches, but it's the bowling line which actually wins you the whole tournaments. Okay, and this is the kind of bowling lineup you need in any T20, anywhere in the world. You can compete with this bowling lineup. All of them are high wicket takers, and they can pick wickets whenever you need. Now it's all upon Akib Javed how he plays them, basically, because the management, I don't think that it's good enough for this team. But in the end, it's Lahore Qalandar, so let's hope for the best.
Akil, we just had a question. Opening pair, and would Denley play? I think Fakhar Zaman is 100%. So who would they open with him? Zishan or Denley?
Basically, it looks like they will go with Zishan as opener with Fakhar, but I'm not sure that Lahore has a really dependable. They just couldn't defend around 140. Yes, 140 was a low score, but still they hadn't shown any fight when for a few.
Breaking up. Akil, I think your voice is breaking up. Could you just rejoin the stream? Yeah, it's breaking up.
Okay.
Yeah. Acha.
I think maybe they will open with Suhail Akhtar. But in the previous season, he was not batting at one place. Like, sometimes he was going at the in the middle. Sometimes he was coming up the order, and sometimes he was just at the lower middle order. So you don't know. He is one person. Maybe they can go in the power play and give him a free hand to just go and smash whatever he can do.
So he has and will continue to destroy a test team. Don't know how you guys get excited for that rubbish. A test team and a PSL, that's T20 cricket, and test is completely different. It shouldn't destroy our test cricket. In fact, what it should do is create more cricketers for us who can play on the big stage. I don't actually agree with that, but I see that you might be saying that it creates more batsmen, or, for example, who want to slog. But T20 is away from that now. Players are no longer slogging. They've actually improved their range of batting. That's personal opinion, anyhow. But so that's them.
I was just going to say quickly. Can I just quickly say about the opening pair? I think this is where the problem comes in, having Suhail Akhtar in the team. He isn't the player that's going to light up the team or light up the tournament. So having him play at the top kind of takes away an opportunity for someone like Tom Abel to come in and play with Fakhar Zaman at the top. Or, if he occupies, say, number 6 or 7, that takes away, having Dunk come in at 6 or 7, or Visa come in later on. So I know it's probably hard for them to get away from Suhail Akhtar, but this is the problem that he causes in the team. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they play up top, because they do have the few options of having either Fakhr play with Denley, Fakhr play with Tom Abel. They can even have sort of these, like you said, have Sohail Akhtar play at top. So I just hope it doesn't take them too long to find the right combination. That's my worry with them.
Yes, definitely. Um, Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
sorry. I think I clicked on something I shouldn't have clicked on. That's why I thought I lost you guys. It's a new stream. I'm just trying to get used to it, and I've actually I'll keep Achilles back as well. So next team we're going to look at. Yeah, we will come back to Lahore for Akil because that's Akil's team as well. So we'll come back to Lahore in a bit. The next team we'll look at is Peshawar Zalmi. Uh, Biggest news they had before the draft and with their retentions, Hassan Ali sort of asked for a transfer. So he asked that he wanted to leave. So that was a big one for them. And I think that might stem from Wahab actually being named captain, Tanzil. Do you think that might be the case? He might have expected that I'm the younger one. I've
Yeah.
got bigger span. I've got longer time to serve this team, and maybe he might have expected the captaincy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to say. He like you see the comments. He decided it was his time to move on. I'm not sure how much of the captaincy may have played a role in that. I'm pretty sure, obviously, he respects Wahab Riaz as a senior bowler, as a senior player. So maybe for him to completely go out the squad, maybe Peshawar could have done with Hassan Ali. I think. Looking at their bowling, I think that's probably going to be their weak spot. And I think for him, he probably felt like he wants to go to say. So obviously, he went to Islamabad. He didn't pick it, but he probably wanted to go to a team which had a bit more of a sort of better chance of winning as well next year. This year. So I can understand his frustration possibly, but Peshawar will definitely miss him.
That's not. Tanzil just mentioned the bowling. I'm just looking at the team right now, and I just quickly went through them again quickly. And Wahab has a tendency of going for a lot of runs. He could be brilliant, but then he can have them days where he might go for 45, 40, and he can really go. Um,
But if you look at the PSL record, he had more better days than bad days.
mhm. Oh yeah,
Wahab had very few bad days with Peshawar Zalmi.
is
That's
I
what.
think isn't he the top wicket taker ever? I think anyone. I think he is.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at the rest of the bowling. Mujib, again, he like Rashid, he probably missed a few games. Um, and I look at it, Ahmad, but I mean, it's nothing more than military medium pace. Umair Asif, uh, Mohammad Irfan, and the youngsters in Abrar and Mohammad Amir Khan. Um, I see a clear weakness with the bowling. I see a very clear weakness. A lot of pressure on Hob to actually deliver as a captain and as a premier fast bowler, I guess. Any one of you.
Yes, there will be a lot of pressure on Wahab Riaz, and I think Ahmad Butt may get more games with them.
Yeah.
Saki Mahmood is one bowler who did well in the previous PSL, I think. But as you said, overall, if you look at the bowling, they don't have like a premium bowlers, wicket-taking bowlers who can win them uh, any games. You cannot depend just on one bowler. Like Hassan Ali was one bowler you can depend on. He's a strike bowler. He was taking wickets for them all the seasons. But now, as you said, that there will be too much pressure on Wahab Riaz, and mostly he's been bowling in the middle hours. So who is going to take a new ball for them? That is also one case which I'm not sure about.
I think Akil, was it Iron Man? Omer Dasif will probably have to step up, but he's not. He's not young. Um, it, and even the batting. Let's leave the bowling for a second. Even the batting, there's there's a lot of pressure, I guess, on them because uh, we've lost our
Yeah,
Akil again. But yeah, go on, Tanzil, you can take that one. They retained only 5 players.
yeah,
Now they've got a team where that adds a lot of pressure on getting selections right, and I don't think they got it right.
yeah. I think we'll go back to the point of their bowling is obviously the weakest link looking at that on paper, and I think they're going to have to definitely. The problem is that they will probably go into every game trying to they're trying to defend as best as they can with possibly the weakest bowling lineup. Now that's going to be the issue. They need their batsmen to score. I'm talking like big runs. You're looking at 180, 190 nearly every game just to have a chance of being able to defend it. But the thing which is really good for Peshawar in a way is that their batting looks like it could, very much keep them in contention. Obviously Kamran Akmal at the top. We know he's a gun PSL player at least. So he fantastic performance in PSL. You've got players obviously like Heather Ali. Then you've got Liam Livingston, very fantastic T20 batsman. Ravi Bopara, he's been around for ages. He's a very seasoned cricketer. And obviously David Miller. Now, Miller was definitely one of the two that I would have gone for if I was, Lahore. I absolutely love David Miller. He's a fantastic batsman. And just looking at that team, they've got solid batting. But like I say, yeah, the bowling is going to be a massive issue.
Yeah. Akil, anything to add on to that? I mean, Peshawar Zalmi, what did you find of them?
Everyone right now.
Voice is very bad, Akil. Voice is very bad, unfortunately, with Akil. We've lost him again. So that's that. That's Peshawar Zalmi. I mean, someone's saying their favorite team is Quetta Gladiators. Maybe we can look at Quetta next. Let me find Quetta Gladiators. So captained by Safraz, and they have again relied on the core of Mohammad Hasnain and Mohammad Nawaz, Anwar Ali to sort of see them through. And then they've gone out and got some newer players. First of all, let's talk Azam Khan. Personal opinion, I think it's been out there. I've said it a few times that I don't believe until you're like physically fit, you should be considered. But this is going to be a massive tournament for him because if he has a good tournament, it'll be hard to ignore him. But on the flip side, I don't know if it's good for his career, Tanzil, that he's still playing with Safraz, because as a wicketkeeper, he's not getting any wicketkeeper exposure this way.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have basically sort of really gone out and said, we need to see Azam Khan keeping more. If he is to be going forward, Pakistan's batter keeper option in T20s and say, maybe ODIs, but definitely for T20s, if he's the option. I think there needs to be a situation where we're seeing him behind the stumps a lot more with the gloves. And he has been in fantastic form with the bat. Let's get that out of the way first. I think he's been really, really well improved over the last year. And just a comment just right now from Billy, actually, a lot does ride on his shoulders. A lot of the runs that Quetta are going to get are going to be based on how well Azam Khan can negotiate the middle overs. And this is where Pakistan's T20 batting as a whole has been lacking over the last 2 years. they can't seem to get through in the middle overs where there's a massive lull where the bowlers come on and with a slightly older ball and sort of kill the game off there. So keeping in mind his ability to play against spin really well, and there's the T20 World Cup coming up this year. There's a lot of pressure on him, and I think this is going to be a massive tournament for him.
Yeah. Before we carry on, it always feels good. Yeah, when you're from a small town and you see someone from your town, it always feels good. Asan Shabir says, "I'm from Pakistan, Jhelum." It feels so good, when you actually find someone from your own town. I'm from Jhelum as well. Well, my parents are from Jhelum, so it actually feels really good because every time you ask someone, everyone says, "I'm from Lahore, I'm from Karachi, I'm from Islamabad, I'm from Faisalabad, Gujranwala," and you can hardly ever find someone that is basically from your town. Sorry, it didn't matter, but it just felt good. Hasnat, what did you find of this squad overall?
Overall, the squad is very good, especially if you look at their openers, Chris Gale and Tom Benton. You know, any one of them, if they get going, they can win you a game on their own. Okay, yes, there will be a lot of if and buts, but Chris Gale, he has a point to prove. Don't forget that he's been here in the PSL, and 2 seasons were very quiet for him. So he's coming back to PSL with that mindset that he has to prove a point that he is Chris Gale after all, the king of T20 leagues. So I'm looking forward to it. That how he's going to perform. I think he's going to have a good season. Then last season, their main batsman that I would say is Ben Cutting. Like his performance was like just too good. Such clean hitter, such clean striker of the ball at the end for Quetta Gladiators, and you can basically rely on him. Like 10 times he's going to give you runs. And then of course Azam Khan, uh, he's performing with the bat, he's scoring runs, and everyone is going to look at how he's going to perform. Of course, Sarfraz Ahmed is there to anchor the innings. Overall, I think that Quetta is a balanced side. You cannot say that they're very strong, but overall, Quetta Gladiator looks good to me. And don't forget, Sarfraz Ahmed's captaincy is going to come handy once again. He's a very good T20 captain. He's a fighter, and he knows how to fight even with some average players.
He's got a major role because what Novesta just said is very true. Quetta have all but nothing type of team. Gale, Azam, Banton. If one of them clicks or two of them click in a game, the opposition is chasing somewhere 180, 200.
Yeah.
But if things go wrong, it can go badly wrong.
Yeah.
And Safraz is probably the glue in that team now. He'll have to stand up because I look at it and apart from Safraz, I don't see any other batsman that they can actually rely on in time of crisis. Tunzi?
Yeah, they've got their top order. If it fires, like you said, Chris Gale, Tom Banton, that could literally take the game away. Especially if they're chasing, say they're chasing a big score, 170, we can take a massive chunk out of that really quickly. And then obviously you've still got Azam Khan there to come, and you've got Ben Cutting as well, lower down the order most likely. He's a very good sort of T20 all rounder. So yeah, if they do get in a sticky situation, like you said, it looks like that you're going to have Sarfraz as the glue, like you say, acting like the glue. And the problem looking at that team is you're more or less going to go with Tom Banton, Chris Gale as their openers and have Ben Cutting in the team. So that's 3 of the 4 overseas already. Now you've got Dale Steyn left, or you can go for Cameron Delport. It all depends on how well Quetta Gladiators batting sort of clicks without the need for Cameron Delport. Because if they want to play Steyn, obviously, it's a fantastic bowler, but it will remain to be seen how they can sort of work out the best 11 is, and hopefully not too long.
Yeah, so that's that. I think we've covered them as well. We'll move on because of the time constraints and everything else. Um, again, just quickly on their bowlers. Hasnain and Naseem, two young Pakistani fast bowlers, they'll carry a lot of burden, I guess, with them because they are what we would call the two leaders of the pack, I guess, and Nawaz, I guess, and Ben Cutting. So there's a lot of
Yes,
pressure
there
on the
was
two youngsters.
another one. They picked Usman Khan Shinwari as well.
I was surprised with that one because, but chalo, we're gonna move on. Next, we'll just look at Karachi Kings. Sorry, the graphic is a little bit small on Karachi, and I haven't got my glasses either today. But yeah, that's their team, and they have kept one space and supplementary away. Now, whether they wasn't sure what to do, or whether they've got a player they thought, you know what, this is going to be an ace in a pack, and we'll announce him in our own time now that no one else has got him. That's a different case, but it's hard to look beyond Karachi right now when I look at their squad. Fast bowling, spinners, batting, middle order, uh, Babar Azam, because I think he just needs a special mention because he's himself. Everything. Is there a weakness there?
It's hard to say, isn't it? I think. I mean, especially when you've got Barber in your team, you've got the backup options, and now they've got Mohammad Nabi as well. So fantastic T20 player, great striker of the ball, can run through his overs, get some quick wickets. Got Ilyas now as well. He's been really really good. Sharjeel, he's still around. Let's just say that he can on his day he can absolutely destroy the opposition, or he could put them in a sticky situation. Having to get Barber to sort of take the brunt of the fall. But I'm just looking at maybe all I'm thinking is possibly maybe the fast bowling options. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe they might have a few players who are just neither here nor there, so they've got too many of these all rounders in the squad. So it'd be a bit difficult maybe to find that balance in their playing 11. But looking at that squad, it's going to be difficult for them to see not even make the playoffs. I think they'll definitely be up there.
Yeah, has not any weaknesses there.
I don't see any weakness. They got all the positions covered in my opinion. They have middle order batsmen. They have top order batsmen. Then two most experienced finishers, Muhammad Nabi and Dan Christian. Don't forget him. He's having a extraordinary season at Big Bash, and then you have Imad Wasim as well, who can finish the games. He has been very good for them. Then another all-rounder, Danish Aziz. Everyone is talking about him. He's a very, very good all-rounder. So they have everything covered. Then the most, in my opinion, the maybe people don't know him very much. Joy Clark. He is a wicket-keeper batsman, top order, middle order batsman. He can play anywhere, and his T20 strike rate is 150. And he is not just a slogger; he's a proper player who can play proper cricket shots. Okay, so they got basically everything covered. They have backups for every positions, and even in the last season, Wakas had a very very good season. Wakas Mal. Then I think they got Muhammad Alias as well. Muhammad
Mhm.
Alias, I was actually surprised that Multan let him go because he had a very very good season last time. He can bowl with the new ball. He can bowl at the depth as well, and of course their previous players like Babar Azam, and then they got Colin Ingram as well in exchange for Alex Hales. So I think they got everything covered. If you look at look at on the paper, I don't think that anyone can beat Karachi Kings. They have basically won this draft.
Yeah. I think West says, do they have a leg spinner? No, I don't think they have a leg spinner. But do they need one when
They
they've
don't have
got Nabi and Imad? I mean, they've got the bases covered with them too, anyhow, in the spin department. So it's a very. I mean, I was very impressed. I think they've got, if I'm not right, Fasil Mirza is with them now. He used to be head of PSL recruitment before. So obviously someone who knows the ins and outs of um league cricket is with them at the moment, and that sort of adds obviously value. I think two more teams to do. I think we'll do Multan first, and we'll save the best for the last, I guess.
You mean where they end up in the table
I had them saved
this
this
year?
way, and in the way that's how it's happened. Oh, this one is very hard to see, but I wasn't impressed at all. I wasn't impressed at all. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take this one off because their graph is not good at all. I'm just going to put something else up there. If you could give me just 1 second. Their graph wasn't good at all. We're going to go by this graph, which will, so we just see their teams at the moment. So that's day one. Multan, which is the number 2. Shahid Afridi. I guess Shahid's Lala's retention is maybe a little bit less with cricket, but the fan base. I think Multan's like 50% of their fan base, or probably even more than that, comes from Shahid Afridi. So, you can't really knock that. Riley Russo, Sohail Tanveer, Imran Tahir, Khushdil Shah, Vince, Sean Masood, Usman Qadir. First of all, Hasnat, I'm going to come to you. Afridi, Tahir, Usman Qadir in your 8 retentions. I know they have analysts and everything, but which logic, just basic cricket knowledge that we have, very basic, does it tell us that this is right?
Maybe they kept Afridi more for like as you said, that PR game and fan base, and they will give some games to Usman Qadir, but still 3 leg spinners. Imran Tahir, there is no question. He's still a match winner. He's the first choice for them. Shahid Afridi, of course, he bowled well in the previous season, but he's not at his best. He's lost his batting as well, and it's more to do, as you said, that it's more to do with the fan base, that they did not release him. Other than that, I it doesn't make sense. 3 leg spinners. They are definitely good. They won't even maybe play 2. If it depends on the wicket. If it's a spinning wicket, even then they can only go with 2 leg spinners.
Just before we carry on, Janice Brent, can we stop the swearing? Otherwise, I'll have to just time you out from the stream. Can we just? I mean, there's no need for it. So, Tanzil, what do you think of their squad? I mean, like, is there? I thought it was very laboured. It was a squad where there wasn't much happening. Yet they've just gone with quite a few experienced cricketers. Some their cricketers. They've just gone for dependability without the X factor. I think it's like I could cut one player and I say, you know what, that's a game changer for them.
I mean, looking at that, you could argue maybe Chris Lynn could be a top if he's fit for the whole series. Then if he comes off, that'll be a very, very good pick. But like I said earlier, he has his fitness issues, and so he may be in and out of the team. He may be in and out of the tournament. It's not a very long tournament, so it was definitely a risky pick to have Chris Lynn. I think one name on there I'm going to say, and I know he only had the few games, but Adam Life, I think that's a top pick. I think Adam Life was a top pick for Muldan Sultans to have back after the playoffs that he was in this last year. So looking at that, you can say the batting looks safe, if that makes sense. I think Riley of Rousseau, probably that one name where Khushal Shah and Riley Rousseau are probably the two names there where you're like, okay, if these guys get going in the middle orders, then they're going to have a chance. But it does look like a very, very safe sort of batting lineup, if that makes sense. The bowling is going to be a massive question mark. Can't play. It's hard to play three spinners. I think it's hard to play two. So I can see in the comments there, Mohammad Awais has said that they've got Usman Qadir as plans for the future. So I don't know if he's a plan for the future. Is it unfair? Is it fair to not give him games? It's a very safe team, I'd say.
It's World T20 year as well, and he's in the Pakistan squad at the moment. He's trying to force his way in, and he knows he has to compete with Shadab and Shadab brings the vice captaincy, the batting along with it. It's I think it's a bit harsh on him if they're just going to bench him and just pick him up for the future.
Yeah.
And the future, you just don't know. He could get an injury. He could lose the form. There's no guarantee in the future. It's here and now, I guess.
I like just quickly. There's a comment by Billy actually. So you got Lynn, Life, Russo, Vince. That's a good top four. That is definitely a good top four. So like he says, you don't have to play Imran Tahir if you've got Usman Qadir playing. So that's the one way they can get Usman Qadir playing more games if they're going to go with their four overseas at the top. And that is a good. I'd say that's a good top four. It's a good top four to have. On your side. It's just down to whether or not they're going to click. And with Lynn sort of with his in and out of injury, it's going to be a tough one if he doesn't fire either.
It'd be interesting to see the balance, I guess, how they bring it. Interestingly enough, I mean, I was looking at the PSL teams. There's at least 3 of them. You could argue maybe 4 that where you could probably make a better team without the captain being in there.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So it's possibly 4. I think it was cricket 2 saying that earlier, and I thought there's 3. I thought the 4th one was a bit harsh on Imad, but it's a weird one where you're thinking it's actually true. With 3 of them, you can actually probably make a better team without. But yeah, let's move on and to Islamabad United. So double winners Hasnat had a very poor season last year, which is very unusual for them. And let's go for the big news straight away. Hassan Ali. How big is this for them?
I think there is no better strike bowler, local bowler, I would say, no better local bowler in PSL than Hassan Ali. And if you look at the long term, okay, and he is definitely pick of the season in my opinion. He is pick of the season, and Islamabad did really well to use the wild card, to waste their wild card on him, and it was. I think that pick of the season in simple words, that's huge in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. He adds a lot to the team, and he's worked on his batting as well by the looks of it, and he now has become a very good one. He already could hit the ball, but he's actually become a bit more dependable. His hand-eye coordination looks a lot better. So he adds so much value to the team, and obviously you got the Roti gang, the Roti group, and apart from Fakir Zaman now, the entire Roti group is here. Tanzil. It wasn't just him though. There was Alex Hells.
Oh yeah, I think
Ingram. Again, I was surprised. I was shocked, but again, Alex Hells gives you so much at the top of the order.
Oh yeah, I think looking at that squad, I think it's a very good squad. And isn't it that thing where if whichever team Iftikhar's in, they're going to win the PSL. So I think just having him there is sort of done it for this year. But no, in all seriousness, I think yes, Alex Hell, top player, extremely destructive, and I think it's very good that Islamabad have got him. Look, this was a question sort of last season as well, but Shadab's sort of utility in the team, especially in the batting order, that's going to be, it's going to come into question again, because can he come in bat number 4 where he did actually do all right in a few innings, or does he sort of come in later on, 6, 7? His position in the team, I think they need to start sort of nailing it down if they want to use his batting a bit more. But obviously, he's primarily a bowler, so he really needs to fire again with the ball mojo, that he had in 2017. And then, they've got obviously Monroe, fantastic hitter of the ball as well. And look, I think they've got I absolutely love Chris Jordan. I think he's one of the best bowlers. Obviously, he's now England's leading wicket taker in T20s. He's a fantastic death bowler. And I think, looking at that squad, especially with Rohil Nazir, coming in, and it's just, again, I think they've done really well. And I think they're going to do quite well this season, looking at that. Sad to say.
I'm not too sad. Hasnat, Phil Salt, will he be one of the 4 foreigners, or will Rohil Nazir play? I mean, for Pakistan's sake, I'm just hoping that Rohil gets game time.
Yes, for Pakistan's sake, I think Rohil should be getting more games. But then it all depends on how well their top order will go on. If Alex Hale and Monroe is giving them regular start, then maybe Rohil will play. And if they are struggling, then of course they will have to play Phil Salt. They will have to play him. So it all depends how they will start. I think batting line is sorted with like Asif and Iftikhar coming in, and of course Hassan Ali can hit some, and then we have Fahim Ashraf in form and Shadab Khan. We have very good local players, and of course Alex Hales and Monroe on top order. So it all depends on how they will play. If their bowling is struggling, which I think that bowling is still a little bit weak, because last year we only have Hassan Ali now with us. Otherwise, Musa and Fahim. It all depends on if Fahim is in good form. Last season was very bad for Fahim Ashraf. So I'm looking forward to it, how they are going to go. But I think that Topley was one person that everyone was surprised. But I think he's a very good T20 bowler. I think he can be a addition in Islamabad United.
Billy says if Salt doesn't play, then one of the local batsmen will stand up. Otherwise, it does leave options on the local lads. Also, they bat very deep for Team Hassan. They do. Local bat, how important on his career, he's in the Pakistan Shines with them right now, but how important is Hossein Talat. He's someone, who you say he's very talented, probably hasn't like reached his sort of like it hasn't done justice to his Tanzania. Someone who, I mean, this could be the season for him now. He's had a very good first class season, very good
Mm.
national T20 as well, and obviously he went with the Shines. Now is make or break, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of that process where it's getting to that stage now for him. Over the last sort of year that he's performed, it's kind of saying, right, I'm getting to that place now where I want to be. Looking ahead, playing for Pakistan on a more regular basis. He's definitely got to sort of be the one guy in the squad who probably comes out, where people are like, oh my god, it's Hussein Talat, oh he's at the crease now, or he's going to be he's going to be the danger man, and so every bowling attack sort of needs to get him in terms of his aiming for. Then he sort of go like a level and a half above you're already at to really sort of stand out and really sort of shine and say, right, I'm here, I'm up for selection now. So yeah, for him personally, yeah, definitely a massive, massive tournament.
That's us done with the six teams. We've got 8 minutes to go. Let's just discuss. There was a massive hurrah on social media yesterday about this player missing out, that player missing out. Let's pick up someone like Abdullah Shafiq, for example. I understand that maybe T20 isn't his forte. I think he's probably. I think Hassan, you said that yesterday, didn't you? बाद में group में बात जो कर रहे थे, like you said, that's not his game. T20 is probably not his game. But what I would say to that is, how does a player be national T20 side just played the last tour, which was what 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the draft, and then not get picked in the PSL? Does it make any sense?
No. I think if there are, if there are many players in that draft, and it's quite a few that have picked up by various teams, Abdullah Shafiq should definitely have been one of the names in there. I know, look, he got 100 in his first game in the national T20, his debut T20, sorry. He didn't have a fantastic tour just recently. But he's still one of those guys, obviously he's young, he's learning. And the whole point of having sort of this tournament as well is to sort of bring through and break through these young sort of talents and this is a step up from the domestic scene. So you've got international bowlers, you've got international players coming in, working with you, working against you, and it's all a learning process. And for him to miss out on that learning process, I feel it's quite sad for him. I just don't want to see it happen where he's just sort of fades now away. He just needs to keep his head up and just keep trying. Just keep going for it.
It's not. Do you think this is a case of? Do we need more teams, or do you think that the teams, as we just picked up, there was a few picks, so you will like either or that? You're thinking, do teams just need to pick up players more sensibly?
If you look at the team, there is one more point. If you look at the team, most of the franchise teams are depending on foreign stop order players. Like if you look at local players, there is Babar Azam, Sharjeel, Fakhr, and Haider Ali. Okay, all of them are like explosive batsmen. Okay, other than these four, all the top order batsmen for all the teams are foreigns. Okay, this on depend on other. So to pick someone like Abdullah Shafiq as a top order batsman, okay, they needed something. Okay, Abdullah Shafiq basically performed in the national T20 in one game only. If even if he had like a quick fire 25 to 30 for Pakistan, maybe teams were looking at him. But it's his performance basically that Pakistan tour to New Zealand may have cost him a place in the PSL side. But in my opinion, I think he is more of a player who can be good in a longer format. From what I have seen
Mhm.
play in the national T20, he's the kind of player you need in the middle more than in the top order. Like he can carry the innings and he can rotate strike really well. I think
Mhm.
that hitting is not his natural game. Maybe he will have to work on that. He's a good player who can like play in the V, but in the end, franchise cricket they all wants to win, so they are not going to risk it for even for the sake of Pakistan. They are thinking about themselves.
Mhm. Yeah, Tanzil, any other players that you could pick up right now that you think that should have been there?
Not off the top of my head. Uh, can't remember.
So Shakil,
Oh
again, I think
yeah. It's one of
probably
those things
something
though.
similar to us.
Exactly. It's one of those things.
It's very classical, isn't he?
You got few very sort of similar batsmen that didn't make it. And like you're saying, they're probably not suited for that T20. But then again, if they don't play, they don't get the exposure. It's a very fine balancing act. And I don't think any one sort of thing can be blamed. It's a combination of things. Um, it's tough. It's a tough gig. Cricket's not an easy game. You've got to you got to get on people's radars. You have to be in there to be picked. And I say it's a good thing on one side that they're still young, and as long as they've got that hunger and passion and sort of drive to improve themselves and get noticed more, then they will have their opportunities. There's no doubt about that. But again, it's a very fine balancing act.
Definitely. There's a couple of experienced bowlers like Junaid Khan, for example, that missed out as well. So, but then when you got 6 teams and the competition is so high, this is what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
someone's gonna. If you don't have a good 1 year, then teams are gonna look elsewhere, and it's nice to see. I think it's Multan signed the young fast bowler Dani.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they've signed him. Islamabad released but re-signed Akif Javed. So they went back with the youngster as well, and can't remember who is it. Is it Karachi with Ilyas now, or I can't remember now. But someone signed Ilyas again. So at least there's progress that way. That they are still looking at the youngsters, but obviously there is going to be room for improvement. I'm just going to take the last 2 comments, and that will be us done. A player from Southern Punjab is regular domestic performing batsman. I'm forgetting his name. South Punjab. Oh, and I can't remember myself now. And guys, you haven't talked about Ahmed Shahzad.
Mm.
I haven't got time for that. We'll do that in a full show, an Ahmed Shahzad show. So, thank you guys. Thank you, Hassanat, for joining me. Thank you, Tanzil, again.
No, thank you. Thank you.
And so that's that done. We will be back for another show, maybe some point this week or next week, where we're previewing the Pakistan South Africa series, but we're actually waiting for the squad announcement, and then we'll let the outrage come out, because there will be an outrage. It always is. So we'll do that at a later stage, and then obviously the Pakistan South Africa series will be doing like watch-alongs again. So we've gone from one extreme of like staying up all night to go to the other extreme where we're like trying to wake up early. But that's that. And then obviously the PSL. We're not going to cover every single game, but wherever we can, we'll try to cover it. So yeah, thank you guys for joining, and thank you everyone for watching. And the last thing I always do is Pakistan.